Likutei Moharan Torah Vav. Ve'ikar Adover. And the main principle of here, in other words, what you're supposed to get out of this Torah, the main thing you're supposed to get out of this Torah, through the fact that the person is in a very low madrega, even so, the person is a very, very low rung. And you believe that even though I am the way I am, and I did what I did, I have hope. I have hope. כי גם שם נמצא הקדוש ברוך הוא exists there as well. That even if I lay down my bed, in the depth of purgatory, you are with me. אז הממשיך על עצמו הקדושה בשם הקודש, הוויה במילוי סג. What you're doing is you're drawing upon yourself an influx of kedusha from the heilige name Havaya in the filling that of the numerical value of 63 of Sag, which is Yud Vav Daled, Hey Yud, Vav Aleph Vav, and then you have Hey Yud. Because the first filler, so to speak, is the filler of Shem Ein Beis. That's the famous Shem Ein Beis of Chesed. The Losed Lovai, there'll be the song of Mashiach is going to be played on a violin of 72 strings. This is the Chesed. Chesed is 72. This is the entire fillers is called the fillers of Yudin, which is Yud Vav Daled. Yud Vav Daled is 10 and 6 and 4, which is 20, right? Mm-hmm. Then you have Hey Yud, which is 15. The last Hey is also Hey Yud, is also 15, that's 30, right? You have 20 and 30, okay? And in the middle is also with the Yud, which is Vav, Yud, Vav, which is 22. So 50 plus 22, 72. Now, if you change the middle filler from Yud, between the Vavs, you take out, you put an Aleph instead, which means you have 9 less, right?
Yeah, 62.
Together, this is Shem Sag. So you bring upon you, so when you're mechazik yourself, wherever you are, no matter what goes on, you draw upon yourself illumination and koyach and kedusha from that name of Shem Sag. That keeps alive and it keeps rejuvenating all those that falter from the kedusha. That you shouldn't fall. You shouldn't fall to chas v'shalom. This is a proficiency, when you're down under. That bekiyas is the name Yabok. B'chinas Shem Sag. This is the name Sag. And also the opposite. When a person is fortunate enough to come into a madrega, into a high rank, high rung in supernal kedusha, ve'afa pichen eino omed, and you don't take. It's not enough. Being a millionaire is not enough. You got to be a billionaire. And billionaire is not enough. You got to be a trillionaire. Because in Ruchnius, it's forever. It's not stupid money. And you strengthen yourself, to elevate yourself more and more and more and more and more. Then what you're doing is you are soaking up the kedusha from the holy name Eke, which is Aleph K Yud K, in the filler of Kasa, that costs in Gematria the numerical value of Kasa. שהוא בחינת בוקי ברצות. This is the proficiency of being ahead of the game. You know, they said that the mark of a true champion is never to give up when you're down and never to be complacent when you're ahead, right? You know, some teams, when they're down, they give up. In some teams, when they're up, either they get complacent or they get jittery. Am I going to do it? Am I going to do it? Whatever it is, the tension is killing them. A mark of a true champion is that you keep an even keel. Total confidence. There's no situation which is beyond retrieval. And no matter how good you did it, you haven't done anything yet. It's the next challenge. It's going weiter. Same thing that it applies to every single reality in this world. In sports, in business, in family relations, in everything. A mark of a champion is these two bikiyas, these two proficiencies. You're down? Okay, I'm down. So, I'm out? Okay, so come back in. Not in the world. You're leading the pack. You're leading the league. You're in the first place. No problem. You keep on keeping on. Then you draw upon yourself Kedusha Shem Kaso, Zboki Beratzo. Ki ha'odom kfitnu also, but this is the principle that I keep on hammering here, as if I'm the originator of this whole thing. Ki ha'odom kfitnu also, a person according to his behavior, v'kfi is chazkusa b'avodos b'ach, and the way that he strengthens himself, peps himself up, props himself up, in avodas Hashem, or does not, chas v'chalila, or in avodas Hashem, can goyim liyachad Hashem eslamala. Do you cause a unification of the names above? The yichudim hakdoshim, umamshich al atzmo kedusha misham v'avintev, and you draw upon yourself kedusha from there, and you should really, be misyachas to this v'aitiv. So after we already explained that the main tshuva is to hear your shame and your derision and keep them quiet. And from this, you're zecher to tshuva, which is kesem. Now, we're going to, Bezat Hashem, explain how you're supposed to relate to those that put you down.
Tomorrow?
Now, we're going to do it now. Bezat Hashem, we're finishing the Torah today. Now. How you're supposed to relate to those that are putting you down. And also, we're going to explain another reason why, when a person hears his derision and he's able to keep quiet, that he gets his zecher to the union of kesem. It is explained above, that through the keeping quiet, when somebody, puts you down and you keep quiet, this gets you to tshuva, which is the aspect of kesser that we said before. Because a way to chokhmah is being quiet. That through the shtika you acquire the bechina of kesem. Kesem is what is siag lechokhmah, because it surrounds the chokhmah. And the depth of the inner, why dafka by being quiet a person gets the kesem, is as follows. Kitzrichim me'oid rizor me'oid ladun eskola od mekavschos. You have to be very careful to judge everybody favorably. Even those that dispute you and put you down. You have to be down lekavschus, you have to judge them favorably and keep quiet. This makes you kesser. Come over, Memedrash. And it is said, And the Medrash alludes to this. In other words, the Medrash is telling you here something that reality is not what you think. Reality is definitely not what you feel. Reality is something a lot bigger than that. What is going on? The Medrash says that one found his friend making a crown. He asked him, who are you making this crown for? I'm making a crown for the king. Since this is for the use of the king is going to use this, any kind of really precious stone that you'll find, set in it. So like this, every single Jew is a crown for Hashem. Even me. I know you probably said anybody but you, but even me. And even you. Everybody. And you have to put in any kind of precious stones that you can possibly find. You have to find every single point of favor you can find in Israel. Now the point is that you have to understand. You're talking about B'Israel B'Klal, and Am Yisrael B'Klal, and B'Prat, you have to do anybody, there's a Russia, anybody who is promoting, rishus in any kind of way, there's no mitzvah to find it there. You can say that, that particular person is maybe is ignorant, maybe is this, maybe is that. On Klal Yisrael B'Chlal, but the Rebbe says even in Tmimis, you're not allowed to be a fool. Don't be a fool in the Tmimis. But every kind of Yisrael, somebody that just personally, me, does something to me, you have to be done a kaf schus. It's going to be done a kaf schus. Because every yid is a kesser to Hashem. כמו שאמרו חז"ל, ודן אסכול האודום לכף זכוס. Be done, every single person לכף זכוס. Like we were saying about this elections for the mayor. It's the same thing like choosing a doctor for an operation. You want yourself the best surgeon, right? What happened to the other surgeon? You done lekaf zchus, but you don't want to be a doctor. The same thing over here. And if they come to say that he's a better surgeon, that the bad doctor is a better surgeon than the other guy, he says, no, he's not. Being done lekaf zchus, it's got to do with that. You have to understand, if he humiliates me, if he puts me down, you have to find a kaf zchus, you've done the kaf zchus. If chas v'chalila is cause chilul Shabbos and bad things for the neighborhood, whatever it is, a chilul Hashem, because for a town to have a Mechal Shabbos is a mayor, any town, Kal v'chom in this town to have it's a chilul Hashem. It's a chilul Hashem first. So I've heard from Simcha Balem first. It's a chilul Hashem. It's a diminishing of the kavod of Hashem. נמצא שלא דנים הכל לכף זכות by judging everybody favorably. So there's a shoskim loy that through this, you keep quiet to him and Shem Vazrei, so when he puts you down, you don't say anything. Kimotzim b'schus, you find a schus that she'eino chav kol kach ma Shem Vazrei, because you find favor, that person is not that being mean, because that he's putting me down, because according to his das, his svara, it seems to him that that's the way you should treat me. He's convinced that. In other words, his kavanah is l'tayalos. And this makes a keser. It makes my friend into I treat him as a keser, as a crown. So I'm zoichet to a crown. ועל זה התמימה והשתיקו נעשו כסר והורי. עד כאן תרבה. But just a second, before the end, I just want to get over here. It says, Paperoes, he said a kasha. Because supposedly you have to be medactic. Over there we said before, we said you have to be quiet for tshuva on your averis. Because the blood in the left side of the heart is still strong. Sure. That's why, the b'zyonis come. That's why the derisions come. And the shame comes. So, from here, it comes that you're of the svara that's really coming to you, that this is really coming to you. Here, he says that you judge them favorably, not because of that, but because because they think that I deserve, to be derided. Which means that really they shouldn't have shamed me just because they think I should be derided, right? That's the way it seems that way. So he wrote to explain this as follows. What we said before, that you always hold a midah tshuva. You understand what this kasha is? No. Okay. When I first say, why I'm getting shamed? Because I deserve it. Okay, this you understand. Here he says, you know why I'm down the kafschos? Because they think that I should be shamed. Because they really believe that. But whoa, time out. The fact that they believe that, who says? Maybe I don't deserve this. Maybe they should overcome their own, high and mighty kind of chokhmah and not deride it. Where does it fit? Okay, when you say this, I believe it, I deserve it. Okay, I understand this. But because they think this is a kafschos, they should have curbed their tongue and not shame me. So he says the reason, the test for this is as follows. We said that even though you're zoicha to complete tshuva, which is then you get divine honor, you still have to do tshuva on the first asada. Even if you already did tshuva, you have to do tshuva on tshuva. And this is the same thing you need to do forever. That's why the tshuva of going up is from the Shem Eke. Eke means I will be. The next challenge. And the more you get to the higher tshuva, you get a higher madreg of Shem Eke. It's a new relation of Shem Eke. It's a higher Shem Eke. And anybody who gets a complete tshuva, which is Eke, and wants to elevate himself to the higher still Eke, to another madreg of Eke, then that Eke, which you want, the new one, the next challenge, the higher one, is still hidden from you. It's still a star respondent. It's still a chorpne Eke. It's still dumb. It's still dumb. It brings you b'zaynis. And you are bringing dam ladam. And you are turning from blood to keeping quiet. That you're keeping quiet for your desire. And for this, you're zoicha to a higher tshuva still, which is a higher pchina of Eke. The only thing is that you have to feel here is that since you're already zoicha to a tshuva shleima, until your own honor is covered alakim. We don't have a complete tshuva. You did it. You finished. You're clean. You're like Rav Steinman. That's it. I mean, there's nothing else there. So when somebody disputes you, when somebody puts you down, what they're actually doing is they're damaging the kovod alakim. Because when you do complete tshuva, you're zechet the kovod alakim. It's no longer a private kovod. So when somebody disputes you and mevaza you, it's kivyochol, you're damaging the kovod Kodesh Baruch Hu. And Tanke Chazal said in the Psiks of the Rav Kahana that the Kodesh Baruch Hu is makpid in the kovod of the tzaddik more than his own kovod. But the tzaddik judges everybody disputes in the kavschus because they really think that they should be derided. They don't know that they're actually Cholek on HaKadosh Baruch Hu. They don't know that. They think. If they would have known, he was already Zochet to Kovod Alakim, they would never dispute him. They would honor him tremendously. So, and to this, that when he remains quiet, and he's makabel all the bizyonis, he's zoicha to us higher and higher and higher, tshuvas l'kesa elyon. Because the kovod elokim, the divine honor, does not diminish by people giving a bizyonis. The true kovod elokim does not get diminished. Like adrabah. The kovod Hashem gets higher and higher all the time. Whenever you're done the lekav schos, Rabbeinu said, all the people that are cholik on me, he says, they're not really cholik on me, they don't dispute me. What they do is, they draw a person, a certain person, they have a certain image, they call Reb Nachman, and dispute that. He says, such an image, I'm also cholik. That's the biggest kav schos you can be done. They think that I'm this. This is horrible. I'm also against this. They don't know I'm not this. So it's a big limud schos. They believe they should be cholik on me. They believe they should be cholik on me. And because they think that this is the true kovod of Hashem, that they should be cholik on me. And this is what you need to. This you should have said. It's exactly what he says here. What Rabbeinu says that nobody disputes me at all, because if Itaka would have done everything they claim that I do, then Itaka should be. They should fight me if I die. But it's not like that. It's otherwise. It's completely the opposite. Whatever it is, in everything that they say about me, it's not found in me. So they're not disputing me. They're only disputing somebody who does these things, right? Okay, but they don't have any complaints on me because I don't have anything in this. And this is what we said before. Hashem, Kadosh Baruch Hu, this is one of the seminal Torahs of Likutei Moharan, because you can't be an Oved Hashem without internalizing this message of never get too high when you're up, never get too low when you're down, no matter how up, no matter how down. Always keep your equilibrium, like a tightrope walker. Always be ready to counter maneuver and to understand what you need to do when you're up, because inevitably you're going to be up, and inevitably you're going to be down. So you got to. And it's going to change. The entire lifetime is going to be up and down and whatever it is. Eventually it becomes a little bit more of like waves than mountains and valleys. But in the very beginning, that's the way it is. And if you get used to, what do you do, that's the main tool, or one of the main tools. And the Rebbe told us we have to go with this Torah and Torah base, Chalek base. These are the two Torahs that we're supposed to go with at all time. Hashem Hashem will be mezakeas to mekayim this Torah, to daven this Torah, to mekayim this Torah, and Bezrat Hashem tomorrow, bli neder, at 8:30 we will start Torah Zayin. Chazak v'nichazak.